Hello world, WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of Blood Magic Developer Commentaries. So the last time we had a DevCom, we talked about the new Demon Will crystal mechanics, and I just noticed that they're all looking... Is that a trick? Well, I know that one is looking a little to the right. It's right, obviously, my left. Anyways, so last time I talked about the new... improved Demon Will crystal mechanics, and today I'm going to be talking about some new stuff that I'm adding to the mod. Well, it's not really new stuff, it's more of a method in order to make the old stuff a lot better, and hopefully, good, useful, and then, we're going to need to talk about this stuff instead of meandering about the points, but let's get started. So I've been talking for a while now how you're going to be able to upgrade the rituals so that you are, upgrade the rituals with Demon Will. Some of the ideas are kind of similar to what the old Blood Magic Alchemy Reagent was. You remember that thing? The thing where it was shooty particles going through the air, going into Master Ritual Stone, needed for the convocation of the damned, etc., etc.? Well, this is basically it, but without the headache, and yeah. I think I'm talking about the wrong thing. Anyways, so, speaking about headache, one of the main things that I hear a bunch of people complain about with rituals specifically is that you don't have much control over everything there is to do with your ritual. For instance, the Zephyr ritual, it picks up items indiscriminately in its range, yes? You can't set a filter or anything to it, you can't set its custom range so that you're not able to, let's put it this way. If you have some sort of farm that depends on actual items dropped, there are some mods that depend on dropped items. I'm not sure why. I'm not going to comment on it. But anyways, if you have a farm like that and you have other things that require, like the Zephyr ritual where it picks up items, then you have to make sure that this thing is way away from it and everything else, because then it's going to be sucky. Apologies for that. For some reason my video recording software was recording for, not recording for absolutely no reason. It was lagging for absolutely no reason. Anyways, so what I'm trying to get at is now, in Blood Magic, you'll be able to define a custom region for basically most of the ranges that a ritual has. Obviously up to a maximum, because maximums kind of keep balance, and they also allow for fun stuff like Demon Will imbuement. I guess we're going to talk about that in a bit, but first things first, let's get this. Actually, I'll use gray wool as my block of movement. So I'll just put this. So here we have the Ritual of the Feather Knife. Is this the best thing to demonstrate this on? I guess it can't hurt. So normally you have this Ritual of the Feather Knife that you want. The Ritual of the Feather Knife drains health from a player, but if you don't want it to drain from the player when you're not around your altar for whatever region, wow! You can tell this developer commentary is not going off the rails at all. Man, I should add blood rails to this. Anyways, so, for whatever reason, if you don't want the blood altar or ritual to siphon health from the player when you're not around, you're kind of SOL because there's no way to set a defined area in normal Blood Magic. Now though, with the patent pending and name pending Ritual Reader, or Ritual Tinkerer, I think I'm going to ultimately call it, you're going to be able to set a custom range. So, the Ritual Tinkerer has 3 different modes, which you are able to toggle between by shift right-clicking in the air. Information, Set Will Consumed, which is currently unimplemented, and Define Area. information, when you right-click on an active ritual, will give you information about that ritual. I'm going to need to give a bit more information than this, obviously, but this is mainly so that I can test and make sure everything is working well. Now, the Define Area mode, if you were to shift-click on the Master Ritual Stone of the active ritual, it'll cycle between all of the different types of ranges that this has. So, damage defines where the ritual will damage the player. And altar will define where the ritual searches for a blood altar. Now, this doesn't really help you much right away, obviously. I think I'm going to set what the current range is below that information description, as well as what type of range it is. So, for instance, I do like rectangle from this corner to that corner, whether it's inclusive, exclusive, etc., to help players get a bit more information about the stuff in game. So now, if I were to want to define an area for it, all that I'd have to do is right-click on a block where you want one corner to be, and then right-click on another block where you want the second corner to be. So now you see new range successfully set. And because if you right-click on the Master Ritual Stone, you will, well, you can hear I'm spamming right-click right now. It will just tell you the current range type that you're on. So now, if I were to, let's see, game mode, let's do this here. So if I were to put a blood altar here, game MDOE, yeah, Department of Electronics, sure. Would help if I typed it correctly, or gave the right one. You can see that this ritual isn't taking any LP from me and putting it in that blood altar. However, if I were to put the altar there, you can see my health, if I were to not be in peaceful, it's slowly going down. And if I were to remove that, it's no longer going down. That's because the altar range, the range that it checks where the altar is supposed to be, is now between that block and that block inclusive. So if the blood altar was there, let's see if we actually have some good wool. If it was there, or there, it'll be fine. However, if I were to then reset this range by right-clicking here and here, you can see now it's starting to go into this blood altar. Times a day. Now if I were to shift right-click on to this altar, and then shift right-click on it again, I set the range so it's exactly this block. So no matter what, no matter how many altars are in its old range, it will always go for this block. So that's one way to help set which altar that the ritual will start feeding into. Now, obviously, we can do this for the other thing, where we actually, let's see, game mode 1. If we were to shift click, you can set that it's going to be the damage. So now, let us pick a nice range. Go from this corner. It doesn't matter which corners you click. You don't need to be like the bottom corner at negative, then the positive corner, like positive, it'll automatically compute that. So now, well, I kind of need a blood altar, and I kind of messed with the pooch there, if that's even a correct turn of phrase, I have no idea. Let's mess with the pooch, herp derp derp. Altar. Let's put the altar where it's supposed to be, thank you, / game mode 0. And maybe, I guess, a bit of steak will help. No kidneys. I'm not a fan of steak and kidney pie. You can see I'm starting to regen. It's going in there. Now if I go out here, you can see it's not going in. That's because the range is between, like, from here to the corner over there, up there. Hey, don't you dare. And he's daring. And if I go in here, I start to lose health. Let's go out so that that jerkwad doesn't come get me, because, you know, bad times. So now I have a ritual room where I will only lose health if I'm in this area. Now you're probably wondering, hey, wait, if I were to make an infinite size of room, like if I were to go like this, and then set it to be like way over here, random lag for the win, for one thing, and then right click here, you can see that the block range given is too far. The ritual needs to have its range contained within a vertical range of 15 blocks and a horizontal range of 15 blocks. This is in all the directions. So that means that area over there, and even probably the one I clicked on over there, is too far for this ritual to handle. It's not going to bother, it's not going to be saved, the current range is not going to be overwritten, etc., etc. So now this is settable for all rituals that have a range that are obviously modifiable. If we were to go to, wow, so many squishies. If we were to go over to this testing thing over here, which I call a nice little, I don't know, Zephyr ritual, yes. It's currently active, so I can see there's a chest range and a suction range. And they are rather self-descriptive. So if I were to shift, I set the chest range to only be, well, that chest. So I can drop stuff within its range. I already edited the range previously, so let's redo that range. That, and let's just set it to a nice comfortable, I don't know, like this big. I tried to make it as intuitive as possible, but obviously it's not going to be a perfect system, though it is working very well. I think so. Now only this chest is going to get it, and with things like chests, you are going to be able to see that there's a volume limit with a lot of things. So if I were to click here and here, trying to be a funny person saying that, oh, all these 9 places are going to be chests, you can see that it needs to be at most 1 blocks. I probably should put that in brackets, but considering that this is an edge case, anyways. Oh, and also, if you were to click a block to store the first block, and then click on the Master Ritual Stone, it's going to void that stored block. Just so that if you go like, oh crud, I didn't want to clear there, you can click there, you can just simply click on the thing, and it'll work. Yes. And if we simply define this volume, now we can have an area which is very small, where basically it has to be on top of the ritual for stuff to be suctioned in. And, as you can probably guess, we can just have it so that the chest is right there. Let's break that, throw all my steak in here, and it's gonna end up in here. Yeah, I think that's, this gives a lot of versatility, at least I feel, with all the rituals. So this was some of my testing when I was getting the full spring ritual up and running, because it was the first ritual I was doing this on. Water blocks, you can see that if I were to, let's break this and empty all of this. And actually, let's do the lava ritual since it's going to be a bit more topical. Should I use gray wool for this stuff? No, I don't think I will. I believe the lava ritual is in this pattern, right? Yeah. Expression Zephyr. Levocanus Phrygius. Gate of the Fold. There we go. So Serenade the Nether. Activate it. You can see that we have a nice lava area. If we were to then define the range, we can then, well, we have to make sure we click on the Master Ritual Stone. Click, click. Now we have the new range. And we're probably out of LP. There we go. Yeah, we definitely were out of LP. No, actually, it's because it was flowing lava. So that's one glitch I'm gonna have to solve because of this. It is a new... There's obviously going to be a few glitches that I have to get through, but as you can see, this whole 3x3 area is completely filled with lava, and if we were to try to make it bigger, you can see that the most is going to be 9 blocks. So now let's talk about the set will consumed. The Ritual Tinkerer is going to be what allows you to set what type of demon will is consumed by the ritual. As you know, there are 5 different types of demon will. Originally what I was going to have is that in order to actually set the will, you'd have to place a demon crystal around it. I mean, there were obvious problems with this original system. One of the main things is space. I mean, where are you going to place the crystals so that it, actually matters? I mean, do you have to put it in, like, within 1 block, within 3 blocks of the ritual? I mean, most of the rituals are pretty compact. I mean, look at the Zephyr ritual. You'd have to do like this, and if you wanted like all 5 effects, it would have just become a gong show. So what I'm going to instead do is, if you have your Ritual Tinkerer set to set will consumed, you're going to be able to click on the Master Ritual Stone, and depending on which demon will crystals are in your hotbar, I'm going to say, it's going to set it to those types of demon's will. So for instance, if I wanted to have the Master Ritual Stone, the Ritual of Lava, do these 3 effects: a default demon will type, a destructive, and a steadfast, I'd put those types on my hotbar, and then just right click, and there will be a big old this is what it does. And I'm going to also have to probably change the information so that when you right click on the Master Ritual Stone, it'll give you information of what each and every single demon will does to that particular ritual. Because frankly, the old reagent system didn't feel powerful because hardly anyone used it, and the only reason no one actually used it was probably because, well, other than the fact that it was complicated as all hell, where you have a bell jar that you have to link with some sort of contain thing, going like that, and then that with a weird clicky thing, have to clear it, have to set what type of reagents the thing is going to hold, how many tanks is held. I think this is a lot more intuitive a system. So, now, the demon will effects is going to be the main thing that's going to take quite a bit of time, and the reason why it's going to take a lot of time is because I want it to be worth it to go through all that effort to fill up the demon aura in the area. Oh yeah, by the way, the Master Ritual Stones will take the demon will directly from the demon aura. I want it to be worth it to be able to go through all that effort to increase the demon aura in the area for your rituals. There's going to be other uses of the demon aura, but for rituals, it should be worth it. Now, for instance, in this case I talked about, the default demon will, I'm thinking, will allow you to have a much larger area at a reduced LP cost per source block added. So that means you can have ridiculous setups where you'd have a large moat powered by 1 ritual. And that'd be hella cool, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, that would be very cool if someone managed to set that up. Now the destructive will, I don't know if you heard of the fire fuse debuff that I had in Blood Magic before. What fire fuse did was it was a countdown. And as soon as it hit 1 tick left, you'd explode and fly in the air. And that was fun. And funny. Mainly fun. And the steadfast, since it deals with defensive stuff, it's probably going to give fire resistance in a large area. Now what this means is that, as you can tell, the destructive will and the steadfast will you're going to want to have as different areas. So different area for fire resistance and a different area for What did I say this was? Yeah, fire fuse. Because you don't really want it so that in the same area that you place your bloody lava, you then get fire resistance. I mean, that could work, but not very helpful. And especially fire fuse, especially since you're going to be popping in the air like it's the 4th of July. So that means that there's going to be a lot more different ranges, meaning that this tool is going to be very helpful for setting all this up. So, in summary, basically all the rituals will have various ranges, and of course various effects depending on what type of demon will you have. Corrosive, it's going to be hard to get a lot of the ideas for this, but I'm going to make sure that I try to make all the ideas as high quality as possible, because you don't really want a second-rate mod, because those kind of suck. But I think those are some ideas that I'm going to want to fly with, and I hope that you guys like it. Oh, and by the way, setting up a kill chamber for this so that the sheep on the outside and the sheep on the inside are either damaged or not damaged. Perfect. Hey, don't go in the... Man, stupid sheep, Darwinism, etc. Blah. That's all the time we have for this episode of Blood Magic Developer Commentaries. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for future episodes. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.